I'm Jennifer Johnson and I raise sheep for their wool.
Here at Whispering Pines Farm, we raise a small flock of Shetland sheep in western New York State with the goal of producing soft, crimpy wool for hand spinners. Thank you for liking this video and subscribing to our channel.
So it's a nice rainy day today. We're all kind of snug and cozy in the barn. It's supposed to go to freezing tonight. So that'll be something to watch if we get lambs. Bring out the heat lamp again. Probably set them up in a corner where there's no draft. So let's take that into consideration. But today, no lambs. We didn't have any lambs this morning. So nothing new to update there as of whatever time it is now, 10:30 on Wednesday morning. But I want to get weights on those lambs, if you remember. So the time is right now, and we don't have any plans of bottle feeding them or tube feeding them today because last night we fed them again for the third time. And they took it, but you could tell they were a little indifferent and were probably nursing off her. Neither one of her sides of her udders were hard, and her temperature was only 102, which is really normal. So, hoping there's the ewe is eating right now. So she's kind of figured out. Mom's nipples are kind of weird. They go underneath and inside of her legs. And if you were watching yesterday's video, it's really hard to express milk out of there, especially when she's favoring them and kind of covering them with her leg. It's just that she's not used to it. So yeah, let's get those let's get those weights now. Oh, look at you. He's climbing on the mountain of hay there. All right, so I got my bag, I got my scale, pen, and hi fella. Ram, he was 65.1 ounces yesterday. And remember, he's the littler one of the two. He came out first. Usually the first one is bigger. You can never predict. Okay, it's torn out to 0 ounces. So what did I say? 65.1. So let's open for a higher number. 79.2. Hoorah. Well done, little guy. 79.2. I'm going to say it again so I don't forget. So that's a triumph. Huh. Isn't it? They're all crumbled up. Oh. I know, we got to get you back to Mom or she's going to get mad. Okay. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. All right, let's see what Sissy's got going on. Forgot what I said already. 79.2. Get excited, I guess. That's pretty remarkable. So they really needed... I think they needed our help. I think it's a good thing we intervened yesterday. All right, little Missy. Let's see what you got. Hey, you're not little Missy. You're little brother. So Mom's just now getting her breakfast, so she's not as attentive because she wants to eat. All right, little Missy. Let's see where you are. Tear it out. To 0. She was at 69.5 yesterday. 74.2. That's a good day. So he sort of took over. He got past her weight-wise. I'm coming, we're trying to get you out, we're trying. I said I wasn't going to do baby talk. There. Okay? You gonna be okay? I love you. Don't you, Dodo? Okay. Alright, I want to feel Mom's udder. She's not going to like it, but too bad. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so happy about that. Okay, Mommy. You're going to let me just give you a little feel. I just want to see. Yeah. She's got it. Key. That's the first time. That's the ram right there eating. Are you getting right in there? Yeah, okay. I saw you figured it out. We knew you'd figure it out. Good for you. You little clever thing. And now little sissy's in there. See, she's got her legs because her udder is so enormous. How is breakfast? Alright. I'm just gonna go cup a feel. If she lets me. I just want to. Nice. No lumps, nice and soft. They're full. But they're not hard and hot. And they don't have any like hard patches to them. That's a good start to my day, for sure. So I want to go look at the other lambs, check in on them this morning. They were pretty active when I was giving their moms their hay. Excuse me, ladies. So it's about 10:30, so I'm going to go. After this, I've got some orders to ship. Thank you, everybody that ordered for me in the last few days. And then I am going to, well, today is barn cleaning day. I don't know how that's going to work because it's raining outside pretty hard. And when it's barn cleaning day, I got to kick everybody out. And I don't want to kick them out in the rain, so we may have to push barn cleaning day to the weekend. Okay, here's the remaining group of bread ewes. Kind of nice to do this when they're eating because they let you get back there. Now Belva is starting to get a little bit of a bag there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to get her coat off. It's hanging by a strap there. Yesterday, late afternoon, I had a 2-year-old out on the pasture. Her coat got tangled up and the other little younger ones were just having a go at her. It was really terrible. So I went out and fixed everything, but I'm glad I saw it. Still not seeing much here from our Gertrude, so I think she's definitely a pass. But we're gonna watch Belva a little bit closer. See, it's hard to tell with Belva, who's the white one here, if you remember, because she's such a stout little thing. She kind of always looks bred. And Lucretia, the white one right here, she was in the corner this morning, as was Paulina. Paulina was kind of doing this lumbering around up and down. Check her bag. We still have this window shut and the fan's not on just because the weather's a little bit harsh. Hi, girls. Okay, let's go see how our babies. Let's go see how our babies are doing. Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, Mabel, my lovey. How's our girl? Oh, it smells sheepy over here. Somebody just burped, I think. Hi, good morning, big girl. You're getting so big. Oh my God, the baby talk again. All right, we're gonna stop doing that. Look at our girl. You got some hay sticking out of your nose. Okay, now it's gone. Nice to see you. Cutie. There was a time when we were more active with the Shetland breeders group. Spots were a big deal, and this particular spot pattern was called HST, head, socks, and tail. I don't really care about it now, except for if I'm gonna have spots, this is how I want them, because then I get a whole solid colored fleece. But she's missing one sock, I think, or maybe she's got a little fleck on that right front foot. Like I said, I don't care. So happy I got a Moret, because we just are really low on Moret wool. And you're so cute. All right, we're gonna leave you. We're watching you. I got that camera working again. So now I can watch them whenever I want.
From this angle, we can see all the activity in those two stalls from that camera. It's really fun watching Mabel's little girl when she doesn't think we're watching. Thinks mom's a big rock she can climb.
Okay, you have a good morning. I'll be back in a little bit. There's Tatianna. You saw her lambs being born if you watched my video from a couple times ago. Yesterday I was looking at her, Tatianna, observing that one of her udders was a little bit bigger than the other. One side was bigger than the other. She's only got one udder. We checked it, and there wasn't any difference in texture or anything. Well, hello. I really like those darker fawn. Oh my goodness, you're just so cute. You're like a little bird. And there's your brother. Isn't he handsome? That pink nose. Got spotting on his back. It tells us that he's spotted, but as they mature, that kind of blends. You don't really see it on the fleece too much. I know you're eating. You guys are doing so good.
Looks like Mabel's little girl is starting to get a little bit of spirit going. I do have videos on the channel that are, we call them the Frolics, where when all the lambs are out of their lambing pens and they're kind of tearing around the barn. It's really fun to watch. So here's a link to that video. And as the day progressed, the rain tapered off. I was able to clean out the barn, and then I decided to skirt some of the fleeces that I had rooed.
The first fleece we're going to look at is from our ewe Chow Chow. Chow Chow is a 2-year-old ewe. She's a gray cat nugget. She's spotted. I got a picture of her on the pasture a few minutes ago, a little video clip. I rooed her fleece, and I've already collected some information. For spinning fineness this year, we submitted samples in February. Her spinning fineness was 22.7, which is good, but it's a little on the high side. But when I look at her other numbers, they're pretty low, like her CV and her standard deviation. Nothing is really out of line. So her mother is Mrs. Hughes, and her sire is Loki, and they were both really fine Shetlands. So I'm pretty much expecting that she's going to keep her fineness. So we'll just take a look at 1/2, but I am going to weigh everything. I'm going to skirt it even though I root it, right? So all the scraps and stuff, like the neck wool, the britch wool, belly wool, I put that in a separate bag while I was rooing her. But when I'm rooing the premium wool, I go around the boundaries of it so that I make sure I get, you know, all the best parts of the fleece. Her fleece is really dense. This is her breech. That's the front where her head is. I'm just gonna get some pictures. This is her breech side. So when I was rooing this year, I did it a little bit differently. I cut from, let me think about this for a second. I cut from the back in, like almost all the way over her, whatever that is, that haunch, that joint, right into the belly. And so I avoided like all the breech wool. But this is towards, I say breech, it's towards the back end. The breech wool is in the. Now, the one thing that stood out to me about Chow Chow is it's a really long staple. For our sheep, this is really unusual. And I mean, I'm trying to like find, is the crimp, it might be a skosh bolder than our normal crimp, but I think this is a fleece that I would suggest if someone's a beginner spinner or has never spun from a fleece, that this would be a really good one. I'm very pleased with how this one came out, and sort of second guessing why I didn't select Chow Chow for a breeding group. I'm being subdued here. I don't want to go too over the top because I got a lot of really beautiful fleeces to show you guys. But this one, as I was rooing it, I was just like, oh my gosh. There's another thing I want to mention. I don't see a whole lot of issue with the perimeter here, so I'm not gonna take off anything. Another thing that's nice about a roo'd fleece, especially if the ewe was roo'd the year before, is that you could wash them and just send them through the drum carder as is. And you'll get a little bit of texture because of the tips and, you know, the pile and stuff. There's some dirt on there. Now, see, the question is, should I take that off? It's not too bad. It's just little flecks. But you run it through the drum carder and you get a really pretty textured bat. So that's another nice feature of roo'd fleeces. All right, so this is Chow Chow. I want to see what her fleece weighed, because there's some stuff here we gotta take off. And I'll show you why I decided to take that off. Just a little bit too much. It's not too much for me. If I'm flicking or combing, that's easy peasy, but who's looking through the window over there? That was Ty. I don't know if my camera, I was having some problems with my camera before, but so I don't know if this came through, but we're watching Paulina tonight, the black first time mother out of Locola, who's also black. Locola is one of the ewes that had AI lambs, artificial insemination lambs, last year. If you're interested in our journey with artificial insemination, I have a whole playlist with a ton of information about how it was with us. One little thing I'll say about AI with sheep is it doesn't work as well when you use a turkey baster because their insides are kind of swirly and twirly. And so it's not like a direct path right up into the reproductive tract. This is reproductive. So, you might like that. So there's the first half of Chow Chow. So let me see how many things I've screwed up already. I didn't get a pre-skirted weight. Ugh! All right, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna weigh that with my scraps and bits from Chow Chow, so I didn't screw up too bad. Skirt it, take a sample. I forgot to do that. And take a photo of the whole fleece. I didn't do that. With the name card. Well, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do all those things. I really just wanted to give you a preview of the fleece. This is the other half. Seems like this half, maybe I was a little bit more careful and didn't pull as much into the fleece. Look at how it just like, it's so dense. It just stays together. Billowy clouds of roo'd fiber and not a speck of the lanolin buildup that happens. There's nothing on this one. It's just lovely. I do want to get weights though, and it's probably a waste of time for me to not take the pictures. So I think I'll take the pictures and then just edit it out. But the way I take the pictures, that's something you might want to be interested in, is I put one half of the roo'd fleece, this is for roo'd fleeces only, one half of the roo'd fleece is facing skin side up, and then the other half of the roo'd fleece is skin side down. These bags, dangling back and forth. With this fleece, what I would do if I bought this and it was for me, I would, well, her fleece, I'd probably just gently flick the tips and spin it from the lock. But if it's like a shorter fleece and maybe it's not as compact as this one, the sections that are really, really clean, I would throw on the drum carder and have that experience because it's really fun. That is enormous. Glory. All right. 1472 is Chow Chow. I'm also maybe not as enthusiastic because I am exhausted. I got up for no reason. So the night Uchiha had her lambs, I was up from like 10 to 4 and then couldn't go back to sleep. I was napping and dozing in between the 10 to 4. I'm very certain of that. But, so I was tired from that. And I didn't nap yesterday because there's too much to do. It's too exciting. It's good. And then I went to bed at 9 last night. I was really tired. Woke up at 2:30, of course. Checked the camera. Checked a couple other things, and then once you open up the phone, you know you're never going back to sleep. Which is what I did. So I got up and started working on stuff. All right, I took a whole fleece. I took a cut photo of the back. Well, that's easy. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to need to do that with the roo'd fleeces. Photo a sample with the ruler. All right, well, let's do that. A little small bit. I don't want anyone to lose any of the... Look at that. Holy crap. For us, this is really long. But remember, if you saw any of the videos in the fall when I was talking about breeding, I'm like all worked up right now. Holy cow. Higher yields is what I'm breeding for now. And she's a little ahead of the curve. Most of the ewes in her age class don't have the staple length. What a great girl. Look at it, doesn't even fit on the card. Heaven's sake. It's really cold here today. It's supposed to go into the freezing temperatures tonight. So I'm really cold. That's why I'm all bundled up here. All right, we're looking at a 5-inch staple. I don't know what that bird is. It sounds like something off of a golf show. Okay, chow chow. Chow chow. Got her data. I took a picture. I'm going to staple the sample. This is a job that's really nice to have a helper to do some of the paperwork. I do have one helper that comes out each year to do this with me. And she's fantastic, except for she staples the lock backwards from how I like it. You know who you are. Okay, photo sample with the ruler, bag it. Bag it here. So with the roo'd fleeces, I just take the 2 halves and roll them up. There's a lot of weird nature going on around here. I'm not a big bird follower. Although I will say I love that movie, The Big Year. It's really good. It's got Jack Black and Steve Martin. And it's about a thing in bird watching that I never knew was a thing until I watched that movie. Alright, I'm going to weigh it with the bag because I'm weighing them all with the bag. And the bag does not add much weight, but I should not be wearing my coat. My coat's got a little bit of dirt on it, but I'm really cold. Feels luxurious also, in addition to having this fantastic staple length and crimp. A beautiful color. And roo'd. Okay. So I haven't done pricing yet for my raw fleeces, how I'm going to price them this year, but if you haven't gone on the website to check, last year I was pricing them anywhere between like $4 and I think I might have gotten up to $6 an ounce on some of them, which I know is outrageous, but believe it or not, it still doesn't pay for the sheep for a year. Okay, 33.5 ounces for the body, the premium. So that's the amount of fiber in the fleece that'll be in the auction. 33.5. And then my skirting, my gray skirting, the cha-cha. Oh, I took my stool after I cleaned the barn. I sat on the stool with my girls for a little bit, so that's why I don't have it over here. I'll have to bring it back in here. 22 ounces for the scrap. I call it skirting weight on my card. Length 5 inches. Photo is done. This card is complete. I'm gonna go in my stack with the other ones. The gray wool is going to go in the comb top, which is a shame because that would probably be nice to spin, but I'm resolved not to keep anything for myself. These are all going in the auction. You get her card. The next one, I'd like to look at a white one. I'd like to look at the white that I did today. Because I need to rebag her. bear with me for 1 second. 1446 is her tag. I don't know who it is, so this might take me a few minutes. I know she's one of the AIUs. 1446 is Bristol. Isn't that a pretty name? We named our ewes last year, our ewe lambs that were born in 2023. Every year we have a convention that we use, and last year it was UK soccer clubs. I think that's what my sons, they follow it, and that's what they say to call it. All right, so Bristol, what is your spinning fineness? 20.8 is her spinning fineness. Now she's a lamb. The year before we did AI and used our breeding, most of the lambs were like 17 to 19 microns. The UK genetics is really good. It's got a lot of great qualities. Super fineness is the area that we knew we were going to want to work on. We have a very specific type of fleece, even within the super fine. So that's a little on the high side for us, but it's a nice, I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers, that's for sure. Shearing quality, she was not sheared, so I can cross that one off. Okay. I'm gonna check my checklist again. Pre-skirt weight, all right, skirted. With her, I don't believe there's a lot that I want to take off, but I'm just open it up. I got to take the pictures anyways, right? One thing I just point out with the white fleeces is I love the white. It's like a, you know, there's a brown white and a blue white, and I feel like these UK whites are more blue. All right, so I've got some little tags here. I know exactly where this was. I remember it because I just did it today. It was right underneath her armpit. I got a little ambitious. I love her name. I'm really excited about that even. Bristol. Write that down on the card. Stuff off too. Tags, when I say tags, that is where the fiber has been so compacted with bits of manure that there's no way the mill can get that. And it's so dirty. You don't want to risk getting that in with your other. There's a good risk that it could contaminate the balance of your fleece. So pull off those tags. They're called. I'm actually going to throw those out. I don't know what I was doing there. Not throwing them out, they're going into the compost. She's also really dense. Her fleece stays together really nicely. Isn't it fun working with the girls right next to us like this? Just love it. I want it perfect for you when I show you what it looks like. Okay. So here's the beautiful white billowy clouds of Bristol's skin side. And here is the outside. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is separate the fleece so you can get a good feel for a parted fleece shot. There's that. Picture the back. The back is more important when it's a sheared fleece because you're doing like a full disclosure of shearing quality and stuff. I hope it's okay. I'm going to have paperwork and stuff around the picture, but I can kind of crop it, I guess. Okay, let's get the staple. Grab a lock. This is like my favorite part. Yeah, that's nice. That's typical. That's actually pretty long. I promise tomorrow I will bring out a piece of black paper to put the white samples on for you to look at. Do you hear that sound? It sounds like somebody scraping my feet. I think that's Alice Paul. She gets up on this ledge and just scrapes. It's the craziest thing. I think this would be a nice fleece for a beginner. A beginner that's got some ambition, right? And that wants something different. So if a beginner just wants to learn how to spin, I would not suggest that they go with this. I suggest that they get a nice Romney. I always recommend Romney. For new spinners, I just feel like it's a nice wool. And it's easy, I believe. Easy to process. I could be talking out of my butt, but you guys probably know better than I do. Okay, and I did get that photo. Okay, let's get a weight, and then we're gonna call it a night because I'm tired. I rooed, I cleaned the barn, didn't sleep last night, so I'm only gonna do a couple tonight. But we will certainly do a lot more. Surprised at the amount of VM that's in these. They're littler girls though, so maybe. Okay, Bristol 1446. Let's get your weights. So Chow Chow, do you remember what I said? Chow Chow's was 33.5. Paulina's sitting down again. It's always weird when she's the only one doing it. It's always a, you know, everybody else is walking around. She's sitting in that spot. With the ledge. I'm talking to you as if you watched all of my videos already. Okay, so Chow Chow was 33.5. Bristol is 22.8. Bristol's a lamb. So there's that. And what I mean is it's a smaller fleece by 10 ounces. 22.8 for her coat. Skirtings. Okay. So 2 down. All right. Well, thank you so much. Really, thank you so much for stopping to watch the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well.